Hi guys, and welcome to Moonlight Falls. If you have been following me on Tumblr or YouTube, you know I haven't been very active lately. And that's basically because I completely burned out on this game. And there was actually like two reasons for the burnout. First was the damn chicken mod that was really difficult to make. And the second was making YouTube videos in my main HUD. And during my break, even though at first when I started my break, I thought that I am completely done with this game. I don't want to play it anymore and I don't want to mod anymore. That lasted like 10 minutes. After that, I was creating a new BACC HUD for my Sims. And the one thing that I really noticed while I was on my break, that if I want to continue making YouTube videos, my main HUD and the HUD where I record, they cannot be the same. Because even though I have not been recording and I have not been sharing my main HUD, I have actually been playing a lot in there. I started from scratch and I decided to make a BACC HUD. So if you don't know, a BACC HUD is a Build a City Challenge HUD. And it didn't take me long to start making YouTube videos. The cat is whining if you hear something. That's him. It didn't take me long before I noticed that I do miss making YouTube videos. And then I thought that I would like to combine two things that I really like, an Überhood and a BACC HUD. So this is my Sims 3 Überhood plus BACC HUD gameplay. And my idea in this HUD is that I will record everything or almost everything that I do in this game. So every time I play a household, I record. Or if I'm building something, I record. And I say almost because there will always be points or occasions where I have to do something behind the scene. And as you can see, I can't looking at the cat like what he's going to do next. Anyhow, as you can see that there are a few buildings in here. But before we go into that, let me show you what I have been doing in Moonlight Falls, which is basically not much. It's basically pretty much the same. I did take, let's say like this, that when I had started my break, I decided that that's a good point for me to actually completely reinstall my gaming computer. Because if you've been following me, you know that I have been complaining sometimes that my gaming computer would randomly crash, and it has nothing to do with the Sims. I could just open it and open Chrome and it would crash because it was like Tuesday 10 o'clock. So after I had my break, I decided this is a good point to reinstall Windows on my laptop, which also meant that I had to reinstall my game. And when I reinstalled my game, I did not install any of the stuff packs that I have. I have almost all of them. I don't have Katy Perry because who on earth would want to have that? I don't have the movie one. And I also did not install Into the Future and Showtime, because those two EPs, both of them have some minor things that I like an object or an interaction or something. But honestly, those EPs I don't use. I don't travel to the future. I don't care about the Showtime carriers. So after I reinstalled everything, I did notice one issue with Cow, and that was that I could no longer do the trick where you import an existing world into Cow and start editing it. I could do the importing part, but I couldn't save, or it will break when I was editing it. So that's why when I first decided to do this BACC HUD, I wanted to do it in Moonlight Falls. But because I could not edit Cow, edit this world in Cow, I decided to do a smaller version of BACC, and Überhood, which was basically like I selected a few sims from each world and I sent them to Halewood. But so I did record a few videos in there, but I was constantly thinking like, no, this is not what I want to do. I want to do an Überhood. And then I had the bright idea to Google, like have somebody actually added these cow files like somewhere. And I did find them, like when you just Google Moonlight Falls and cow files, you find them. So I took those, and the changes that I made in this world is basically this. I always like the idea that when you have a city center or town center, it is like a compact and dense area, and everything else can be whatever. And first I wanted to have the town somewhere here, because I was thinking like this is your main road, so it makes sense that the town is here. But I'm not very good at cow, and I'm like, I get really overwhelmed very easily when I'm there. So I was thinking like, oh, I have to like move this and move that and fix the roads and everything. And it was just like, I could not do it. So then I came actually here, and I was supposed to delete this big lot here that was the city town hall. Hello cat, thank you for complaining while I'm recording. I love my animal. Anyhow, he has fish. He's fine. I don't even know, can you hear him? He just increased his volume. I don't know, can you hear him, but like I can. Let me have a break and try to silence the animal. One moment, please. Okay, and I am back. I gave him some dried food. Hopefully he is now going to be happy, because he has this like thing that he has to like, he can't just go and eat everything. He needs to like dig it up. But he's not interested in the dry food. Now he went to the balcony to complain. But anyhow, let's continue with this, with my video. So basically, I went here to delete the town hall, this big lot here. And then I thought, well, if the town hall is here, then obviously this is where the city center should be. Like this is where the town should be. So I started working on this, and this is now my town center. And other changes I did, like I wish I could have noticed this when I was editing, because I don't like it, but I'm too lazy to go back to cow. So we are going to deal with it, like maybe we can hide it or something, or use it to our advantage at some point. Other things I did was I repainted these banks here with the no rooting paint, because I did notice that EA had painted them, but then they would like leave these tiny spots here that were not painted, and I'm hoping like this helps with some of the lag issues in this world. This is not the version that you can find on Mod the Sims that has like issues fixed. Like this is another version. I don't think they have those issues fixed in here. Something else I did was that I deleted all metal and gem spawners and rock spawners from here, because I don't like how you can just walk around and find a diamond. So and also I have been working on a mod which is basically like you can dig for treasure, or you can just dig. The cat is complaining like, why? He was like silent when I was like not recording, and now he's like so vocal. Anyhow, so I'm working on a mod where you can dig the ground and find random things, and one of the random things you can find is gems or metals and rocks. So I thought like, if I have that mod, at least they have to do something to find the gems. They can't just walk to their backyard and pick up something. And I did leave the other spawners, but I did add 2 spawners in here. One of them is a fragment spawner, and one of them, like the other one, was a dig spawner, and there are the general ones, not the ones from China or France or Egypt. So basically when they spawn, I can have some archaeology sim come here and dig for things, and that's going to be nice. because my main hood, I have Robert Grimm. He is my archaeologist, like it's his hobby. He runs a factory as his proper job, but his hobby is archaeology. So the world and that I'm using for my main hood, there was a Stonehenge, you know, the item, and I added one in the center and one a little bit off. So now when he has free time, he goes and digs for things you find in archaeological digs. Did I change anything else? I don't think so. So these are the families currently. I will talk about the families in a moment, but let's look at the buildings. The first building is the bus station. This I built. I have the same idea in my main hood, but there it is like a docks because it's near to water. So this is the building where I hide the rabbit hole doors, and I don't understand why, but this keeps telling me location out of bounds. Like there was like one spot like in here where I can add these doors, but like here I could not add, and I don't understand why, because it discontinues, like location is not out of bound. But anyhow, so I haven't play tested, so I don't know will these actually work, like can Sims access these, even though it's telling me like I had to use move objects to add these. So I will have to test it, and if I for some reason cannot use this, I will have to locate this or build a new bus stop somewhere else. And this here, I really like this one. I also use the same thing in my main hood because this item is so pretty, but like very quirky and can't really use it in many places. But I have the consignment store register in here, so I'm thinking like if this is the place where the Sims, like the tourists, stop when they come into town, of course it makes sense that we have this like souvenir place or shop in here. But this is the consignment register, and I would like to have some deco buses here, so it does look like a bus stop. And then of course we have the map of the city, and that's it for the bus stop. So this I built off the lot, like off camera. Then we have our railway station. I know there is like no railway like in Moonlight Falls, but I'm thinking this is the backstory of the town, that when the town was founded, it was founded because the railway was supposed to come through here. I did want to add a railway, but then I was like, oh, it's so difficult to navigate, and then I have to edit so many things that I cannot. So now the idea, like this backstory, is that this town was built because there was going to be a railroad going through here. So this is a railroad town, and the townspeople went and built the railway station, and then the railway didn't come, like the tracks never came because the depression came instead. So they boarded up this, as you can see, it's boarded up, and they are not using it right now. But the reason I have this slot in here, because I really like this slot. This is the lot that I have used before, and how I'm doing it in this world is that I actually have hidden room markers in here. So even though this lot is in the world, and in the future, hopefully at some point, it is going to be my town, like townhouse, not townhouse, like, what do you call it, townhouse, I don't know, like the town building where everybody comes to have the meetings and everything, and where my politician will be working. But for now it is just an empty abandoned building. And I do have here the tax collector and then the donation box, so I'm going to use it so that when my Sims I collect tax from my Sims, they will a little bit, I will always put here, and when we have enough money, 30,000 simoleons, they can unlock this part of the building, and then we can start using this part of the building. But until we have 30,000 simoleons, we can't use this slot. So it's here just for deco. And Then we also have the first house that I have built. See, when I was still recording in Halewood, I actually like built the like the shell of this building in there. And then today in the morning, I actually did record the intro, and then I recorded first episode where we are editing the interior of this house. But when I started editing those videos, I noticed that even though I had told Bandicam that I want my game sound and my voice to be on different tracks, they were, but still the track that had my voice also had like all the sounds, like UE sounds from the game. There was like, I had to disable audio. I had to disable the speakers from my main source of sound. And hopefully now it is fixed. So I could not like, so when I edited the video and I increased my voice so you can hear me better, it also of course increased like all the UE sounds, like all the clicks and everything, and it was so loud that it was like unbearable. So that's why I had to delete those videos, and that's why I am recording again this intro today. So anyhow, so we lost also the video where I was working on the interior of this building. But this is my building. You might recognize it, that this is actually, let's give credit first to the person who really deserves credit, and that is Devon Pumpkin, because this is his schoolhouse that he built in his video. And I built the similar, I recreated a similar plot in my previous hood, and when I was planning on having this factory building, I decided that this is perfect for also for this. So I recreated it again, and the idea behind this lot is that this is going to be owned by the Goth family, not Mortimer Goth and his father and mother, but the Goth family that lives in Moonlight Falls. And the man, I don't remember his name, but he is like the owner of this factory. This is actually the rabbit hole door for the factory building. So I have been using the same idea in my main hood, that I have Robert Grimm living on the lot, and then I have the factory here, like the factory rabbit hole door. So when people come to work, they actually come to this slot. And that's the idea here as well, because I think like in all towns you always had that one factory where everybody worked. So this is the one factory where everybody works. So and because the Goth man is crazy, and you know I have this rule, I don't really control crazy people, he's going to be working in the factory just like normally, like everybody else. But it's actually his wife, Olivia Goth, who is running everything. Like everybody from the outside, when you look at this family, you think the man is in charge. It is actually Olivia. But anyhow, let's take a look at this house. It's not furnished, because the way I exported all the families from the EA Worlds was that I built a tiny house, a 7x10 house, and I had everybody, like each family, one by one, I had them move into that tiny houses, and then I had them pack their furniture. So when I moved the Goth family in here, we are actually going to furnish this house with the furniture that EA gave them. Oh, this is wrong. I need to fix this. I had this attic entrance first in here, but then I noticed that it looks better in here if I have it kind of like hidden. So I need to add, I can add maybe this. No, because this always pokes through. I should delete this. I never use this because it pokes through. Well, we can use this one or this one. And the way I'm going to do money is that, because you know EA gave so much money to the Sims, like even the poor Sims are like super rich. So like the Goth family, they have like almost, I think, 90,000 simoleons or 80,000 simoleons in money. And so what I'm going to do with money is that after I move them in and after I furnish this house with the furniture that I'm going to use, I am going to set their money to 0, and then I'm going to consign all the furniture that is left. And then whatever money they get from that is their starting money. And I have edited the consignment store so that it doesn't give you as much money at EA like planned, but it gives like 30%. So it's going to be, they're not going to be that rich anymore. And then downstairs we are going to have like bathroom and toilet and laundry. So this is the house basically. And the Goth family, like this is the factory that they owned. And let me show you. My plan is that here we are going to build with the Goth people's money, like with this family money. I want them to like build an apartment building, and this is going to be only for the factory workers. So if you are like can't afford to buy your own house, you can always live here. But I'm going to use like their money to build it, so I can't start building it until I know like how much we can use and like how big house we can build. And maybe we will start with like only a few apartments, and then when they get more money, I will increase, like they can build more. And these people who are living here, of course, they don't pay tax. No, they don't have to pay tax or bills. Well, maybe they could pay tax because I can do it family by family, but they will not pay bills because it's unfair that one family has to pay the bills. That takes into consideration like all the lot. But they will pay, of course, rent, and this rent will be collected by the Goth family, so they have like a secondary income as well. And this is, of course, all Olivia's idea. So other rules, like the way I have been playing my mainhood, my new mainhood, is that I start the BACC so that they don't have running water and they don't have electricity. So which means that I can't use any electrical equipment, and when I am, and because they don't have any running water, I'm only allowed to use this sink in here from The Sims Medieval, and I'm only allowed to use this toilet. And the plan is that when they have enough money collected to buy a well, and this well is going to be where is the well? This well. And this is the well that I made with MS Poodle. It is extracted from The Sims Medieval. It is animated and you actually get buckets of water. So when they have enough money to get this well, they can then upgrade their toilets. Oh, this is a toilet they can use. Like they can have an outhouse as well. Then they can upgrade the toilets to one of these where you have this pulling mechanism. I have 2 of these toilets, so they can upgrade their toilets to these. And then of course after that they can have tubs, because these are the tubs that came with the mod, so you need like buckets of water to like take a bath. After that they can use those. Before they get this one, they will only be allowed to do sponge baths. And the toilets, no, the sink, they're allowed to use this sink in here, okay? Like they're allowed to use this sink because this looks like old. And maybe one of these, if it looks old enough, I don't know. So if it looks old enough, then they can use it, but like they can't use a modern sink. And I know it's like gameplay wise it doesn't matter. I mean, this is a sink as anything sink, and this is a toilet, and it works just like a toilet, but I like the idea of having this challenge. And for water, like they have here a water tower, but I'm pretending that this is not working, and I have to figure out like what is a good enough sum that represents that they have fixed this water tower. In my main hood it is 30,000 simoleons, but because this is going to be an Überhood and I'm going to have so many sims and so many sims paying taxes, I'm going to get 30,000 much faster in here, and I'm going to get 30,000 in my main hood where I have like 5 main families. So it's going to take a while before we can access running water, and after we unlock the water tower, we can use like any sink or anything. I'm thinking like if some person gets collects enough money to have a well in their home lot, they will be allowed to use this this shower. Part of me wants to actually like incorporate this shower with the mod, but I'm not going to do that because it's going to like, I don't know, I just don't feel like editing that mod right now. So I'm thinking like if you have a well in your home lot, you're allowed to use this shower. And for electricity, when they get enough money, I don't know yet how much it's going to be, and I unlock the electrical plant, then I can have electrical equipment in here. So those are the rules. Oh, and this is the town square where I'm going to have the well at some point. Okay, but let's talk about the families. As you can see, I have all the families in here. Well, all the families except Appaloosa Plain, and because I haven't yet made a decision about horses, like do I keep the horses, do I not keep the horses? So I haven't done Appaloosa Plain, and also I don't mind not doing Appaloosa Plain because the moment you add pets, you have more routing issues. So I'm going to play everybody else, and then last thing is Appaloosa Plain. And I also, of course, don't have Starlight Shores because I don't have show time. And my idea is that because it is very overwhelming to have everybody here at once, I'm going to do so that I'm going to add the sims in batches. So every time, like now I have like 10 sims in, like 10 households in here. And when I'm done playing all of them, then I will add more. And the households that I have decided, because not every EA sim is interesting. EA sim, I think I just said sim. Not every EA sim is interesting. So I have given myself permission that I am allowed to edit the families. And in 2 occasions, I'm also going to edit the sims' facial structure. There's 2 sims whose facial structure I want to edit. Is Bella Goth, because I absolutely hate her face, and the other one is the cat lady from Appaloosa Plain. Like, I'm really interested in her because she's like a crazy cat lady, but I'm going to really like edit her. Like, I want to make her first into a young adult, and I want to make her like super sexy, and then she's going to be like a super sexy non-crazy cat lady. That's my idea. So I'm going to be editing those 2 people's facial structure. Otherwise, I try not to edit my sims' facial structures because I feel like that's cheating. Like if they're ugly or interesting looking and then I make them pretty, that's not fair. And other things I'm going to do is that I'm allowed to change family structures. For example, I like Mary here, but I don't really care for her children. And I'm going to make Mary into a young adult when I start playing. I'm going to make her children actually be her siblings, and then they're going to die off. So, because I don't want to just like remove them from her life, but I'm giving her a backstory that her siblings and her were supposed to move to Moonlight Falls for a new beginning, but then a horrible plane crash happened and the siblings died. So now she is living alone, trying to figure out what she wants to do with her life. So yes, if I find a sim interesting, I will change their age as well. The Porter family, he's actually a very interesting looking sim, and I am going to make him into an adult or young adult. Not know yet which. She's also interesting. I don't know her age, but I kind of liked her. Like, she's very socially awkward. We have a Wainwright family. Before I explain them, I need to explain the Clavel family, because as I said, like not all EA sims are interesting, and because doing an Überhood means that you're going to have like a lot of sims in here. So my plan is that if I have some sims that I'm not getting attached to or have like trouble figuring out what their story is that I will play them for one round in a household where I have multiple sims, and then I will, if I don't find them interesting even after that, I will turn them into townies. So that's why they do exist in the world, but they're not like taking space and resources by living in the physical world. And the Clavel family is actually going to build a motel. It's going to come here. It's called the One-Eyed Dog Motel, because the lady, like the mother, when she was a child, her favorite pet was a one-eyed dog. So now that she finally has, they have retired and they have money to start a motel, she decided to call it according to her childhood pet. And so they are going to have a motel, and they will be living in the motel, but in the other, like the other rooms will be occupied by other sims, and the first residents in the motel will be these guys. And if I find them not very interesting, I will turn them into townies. If somebody is very interesting, I will keep them. And because the nature of this slot is, like the point of this slot is that I can get to know sims that I might not otherwise like know so well, I will play the Clavel family more often than I play all the other families. Like all the other families, I will play them for 1 week. The Clavel, I will play them like 1 week, and then I don't like the sims so living there, and the ones that will be turned into townies will be turned into townies, and other ones will move into a normal house. And then I send the next batch of boring sims to the motel, and then I play another week. So the Clavel, their son, he's going to be like probably an elder by the time we are done with the first round in this wood. So yeah, they are moving there. And then we have the Pigeon family, because I really like this lady. I'm going to turn her into a young adult, and she is going to start a nursing home. I'll give her the nursing career, and then she's going to start a nursing home, because there are some elder sims in here, and some of them I might not want to like have them have a house and then like get attached to them so much and then they die like in the first week. So I'm thinking like, this is perfect. We're going to have a nursing home for these guys. And okay, we checked the Porter. Then we have the Bayless family. The Bayless family, I am going to ditch the parents. They are going to die in a horrible, horrible fire. Might be the same horrible, horrible fire the Baker kids will die in. Like the same plane crash. And then I'm going to be left by the children, and they will live alone and fend for themselves. And they are going to start a farm. So they're going to be my farming family. Then we have the coffee. I like Kobaya's coffee. I really like him. I like the way he looks. Like he's like this middle-aged man. But I'm turning him into a young adult because I want to spend more time with him. I don't want him to turn into an elder soon and then he dies. So I want to spend time. So he's going to be turned into a young adult. Of course, we have Erin Kennedy because I absolutely love Erin Kennedy. She's also an adult and she is going to be turned into a young adult. then we had the Clavel family, and then we have the Goth family. I'm going to change, like, I did check from Wikipedia that it's Samuel Goth. So Samuel is read as uncle, but because I don't have like other family, like the other Sims like in their family anywhere, I'm going to change it that he is her brother, so then they still keep the family tie. And she is going to move out of the house and start a bookshop. And then we have Helen. She's one of those Sims that I just don't get. I have like absolutely zero connection to her. So I don't know yet what she's going to do with her life. She's not probably going to stay in the household with the Goth. I'm thinking she's going to just move out. And these houses, these are the tiny houses my Sims moved into. And when I did these houses, I was trying to do another Überhood, and my idea was that I would have like all the Sims at the same time in the world, and that's why when I created these houses I color coded them, so each hood had a different color. Brown is Sunset Valley, this is Moonlight Falls, this is Sunlit Tides, the Island Paradise version, this is Bridgeport, and this green one was Twin Brooks, because I kind of like the idea that I can just look at the house and know that which hood they belong to. So anyhow, this is my new Überhood BACC. As I said, the idea is here that the majority of things that we do in here we will do on camera. So I'm not sure what's the next thing we are going to do. Most likely have the Goth family move in here and start editing this lot with the furniture that they have in their inventory. And I'm not going to have any supernatural Sims in here, so the Goth will be turned into normal Sims. I am going to also do videos in CAS when I edit them in CAS, but honestly, like, I find CAS videos so boring. So I will do like 1 or 2, maybe I will do it with the Goth family, and then you can tell me like later in the comments that do you want me to do CAS videos, like the CAS editing on video, or do you want me to do it behind the scenes and then you can just see the end result? Because I don't know, I guess some people like seeing Sims being edited. So anyhow, this is the plan for this new hood. I'm really excited about this. I have been like thinking about it for a long time, and I have been working on it for a long time, because this is not the first iteration that I tried to do with this my idea of an Überhood plus BACC challenge. So anyhow, I don't know what else to say except that I hope you enjoyed this video, and see you next time.